Hi everyone and welcome. And if you are just joining for the first time, welcome to 100 Women of Color in Jobs Challenge. So, what is the 100 Women of Color in Jobs Challenge? This is literally a challenge that is helping 100 women of color get into jobs, the kind of jobs that they deserve. And yeah, in 90 days, in 3 months, and we have a couple of women already on the challenge. And every week on Friday, we get together to share and have certain lessons that we then work through the week with. And then for this week, we have a very interesting topic, and I think I've waited about 2 minutes to make sure everyone is live. And if you have any question at any point of the stream, please feel free to throw them at me and I'll definitely get them. So, the first thing we'll be talking about today is, can you guess? Vision and career clarity. Again, vision and career clarity. So, you're going to be thinking about what is vision, what am I up to, how is that related to the challenge. And the essence of all of this is so as to understand exactly who you are, what you're doing, and how to go about things that we're going about. So, yeah, again, welcome back to week two, where we wrap up what happened on week two, and then we have a new assignment for week three. And hello, beautiful women of color. Welcome back. I've said welcome back like how many times now, to the Women of Color in Jobs Challenge. I'm so excited that you showed up, and I want to say this clearly. You belong here. This is a safe space. This is that place where you can relax. This is that place where you can rest. This is that place where you can speak up. So whether you're in between roles, whether you're pivoting into a new career or you're just ready for the next level opportunity, this is your season, and and we are doing it together alongside all the other women on this challenge. So again, just to be clear, the theme of the week, which will be for next week, will be vision and career clarity. So this new week theme is vision and career clarity, and I call it the North Star Week. Why is that? And that is because we'll talk about CVs, which we started last week, right? If you've not seen the live last week, you need to go watch it because we spoke extensively on important things to watch out for when you're writing your CV using the STAR methodology. It's quite detailed, and I can't get into that today. So if you've not seen it, go ahead and watch it. The next one would be, why are we doing this? Is for our interviews, right? We need to get the vision and career clarity before we start the interviewing, and also even whether it is application, we need to get crystal clear on where we are going and then why it matters. So clarity is really powerful, and when you're clear, doors tend to open faster. When you're clear, doors tend to open faster. So people understand how to help you, and more importantly, you understand how to help yourself. So this is the importance of clarity. So let's start with a question. What role are you going after, and why now? If you're able to get a book and a biro, or just flip open your laptop like I have mine here, and just answer that question. So, what role are you going after, and why now? And I beg of you, I'm just going to wait for like a few seconds for you to deep and understand and take in that question, which is, what role are you going after, and why now? Also, don't give me a vague answer like anything in marketing or just a good job. That is survivor mode, and we are done surviving. Alright? So, I want you to get specific. What job do you want? That's the first one. What title do you want? What industry are you looking at? What kind of team are you planning to join? Again, what job do you want? What title do you want? What industry are you looking to get into? And what kind of team are you planning to join? See, listen, these are very important questions that you need to answer before the interviews start rolling in, so that when you're being interviewed, you're also interviewing the interviewer. And honestly, that is the best one because it helps you to not be too desperate, but at the same time looking for what is healthy for you and healthy for the company that is coming to, employ you. So in one word, a perfect match. So what job do you want? What title do you want? What industry and what kind of team? And then let's go a bit deeper into some of these questions, which will be the first one will be, what do you want? Why do you want what you want? I know it's like, oh, come on, I want money. But don't just be very fair about it. Write it out. There's a scripture that speaks so well with me regarding this. It says, write down the vision, make it plain, and then you can run with it. So that means that you need to be very specific as to what you want. You need to write it out. You can't be vague about it. So why do you want it? Right? What difference will it make in your life? I promise you, looking for a job is not just about I'm searching. If you can answer all these questions, it's as though the entire world knows how to align, how the elements align, how the people align, because this person is attracting what they deserve. So, what difference will you make in your life? That's the second deeper question. The third deeper question will be, how does it align with your values and story? Right? Recently, I spoke to some of the women and I said, you need to write out what your value statements are. And some of them have written what their value statement is, and I'm like blown away. So, this is like something that would anchor you through the journey. Let me take us through a story time. This is like really cool story. So I remember talking to a woman, not part of this challenge, and I just need something, and she was like, "Oh, she just needs something to pay the bills." And then we talked some more, and then she revealed she actually wanted to work in a global health because she had lost someone that is quite dear to her, which is due to poor healthcare access. Now, that is not just looking for a job, that is purpose, right? That is real purpose because now she's going into the healthcare system to make a difference. And that is not just purpose, that is also clarity. And that moment that she owned it, her whole energy just, shifted. She was more reinvigorated, if that's the word. So the word I'm looking for is the word that says you're more charged to do what you're always set to do. She just wanted to do so much more. So these are the very important questions that I need you to answer, which is, why do you want it? What difference does it make in your life? And how does it align with your value and your story? Yeah. So this is most likely around where we'll call it a day. But before we wrap up, I want to give out this week's assignment for next week. You know how we do it. So the first one will be to future back your visioning. So what does that even mean? What does that mean? So what that means is write a future back vision. Imagine it's like 12 months from now, you're in a role that you absolutely love. What does your day to day look like? I'm telling you, you're going to come back to all of this and you're like, oh wow, I actually got what I wrote. So, what does your day to day look like? Who are you working with? Quick story. This is really important. The people you work with can either make you or mar you. So there's a possibility of having the great company, great product, and then not have the best colleagues to work with, and that can be a pain. So I need you to be very specific. Who are you working with? If I were to write that down, I'll be more like, I want people that are very supportive, people that looking out for my growth. I'll be more specific about maybe my manager, maybe people will report to me in case I'm in a managerial role. I'll be specific to the T. So who are you working with? And then the next assignment question is, what are you learning? What are you learning in this role? Don't just what a role that you're given. Perfect, that's why you're being paid. But at the same time, what are some of the skill sets you like to pick up? What are some of the things you like to learn? Sometimes you can't know it all, but the more research you do, the more better positioned you are for the kind of job that you deserve and that you want. And what are you learning? The next question will be, what are you earning? This is very important. So, what are you earning? I know we might have a model that literally explains how to rate your earning, but for now, how much are you earning? If you don't know how much you're worth, you need to do your research in the market. What is the range? What is the maximum you can maybe want to go, and then the minimum you're not going below? And yeah, so how much or what are you earning, and then what exactly are you building, and what are you contributing? So these are really, really, really specific questions. Who are you working with? What are you learning? How much are you earning? What are you building, and what are you contributing to? um, and after you've written all of this, then you now need to reverse engineer it. So, what does that even mean? What do you need to do today to get to that point? Do you understand what I mean now? If you have written, this is the kind of team I need to work with. For instance, like the lady who had shared she wanted to work with an healthcare system. What do you need to get there? Do you need to take a public health class? Do you need to attend some of the conferences or conference of relating to health? Do you need to, if you want to work in tech, do you need to attend some of the tech conferences? There's one happening in Birmingham. Do you want to attend, for instance, TN Nigeria conference event of tomorrow? Do you want to meet people already working in tech in the UK? This is some of the things you might want to answer yourself. So, what do you need to do today to get there? And then you need to as well choose a job target. Do you understand? What kind of title do you want? I'm telling you, these are the things you need to answer. What kind of title do you want to have? The next one will be, what industry? I know I've mentioned that earlier, but you need to say it again. So the third one will be, what location, or if you want hybrid or you want remote, you need to be specific. List out the title, list out the industry, list out the location, and at times you have more than one industry that you're open to. For instance, in the past, I've worked with RegTech. I've worked with I currently work with a fintech company. You might be open to RegTech, fintech, or you just want to have a total pivot. You want to work in health tech, or just something. What are the industry? What is the location? What type of company do you want? What are the sizes? Do you want to work with a startup? Do you want to work with a scale up or an enterprise? And then finally, you're going to be asking yourself, what are the skills that are required? So this is very important. When you know the skills that are required, if you don't know it, you need to go and look for the kind of company you're looking to get into, their job description. So they have job posting here and there. Look through the skills that are required. If you need to upskill, start upskilling. But again, women tend to disqualify themselves based on research. So don't disqualify yourself just because you do not meet up to the 100% of the requirement. So just write down the skills that are required, write down the skills that match your skill, write down the skills that you need to upskill on. And anyways, your deliverable, I'm going to be clear about it, is submit your clarity worksheet. So that is your deliverable for the week. What is your clarity worksheet? What is your role goal? And this is the foundation we'll build on. So whether it's us still updating our CVs like some of us are still doing, or whether it's updating our LinkedIn, or whether it's the application, this is like the foundation, and also the interviews will flow exactly from here. Something again I need to touch on quickly is our accountability moment. So now some of you, or both of you, some of you already have like an accountability body. like we call them. So don't forget to share your worksheet with your accountability buddy, and also in the community under our general chat, and then we will see how this goes on Thursday when we all catch up. Yeah, this is not going to be live, guys, for people who are not part of the challenge. When we catch up, we can then discuss some of these things and see how that has gone over the week. So yeah, we are not doing this in silence, guys. You know, we are learning in public, so you can't be quiet about it. Talk about it, speak about it, and be bold about it. So yeah, what are the next steps that you need to do outside of this? Is if you have not joined the Discord channel or our community, you need to do that immediately. You need to also, number two, schedule your body check-in, just in case you know, you've not scheduled that. You need to schedule that as soon as possible, and then you need to share your learnings on LinkedIn. Tag me, tag your buddy, use the hashtag just 100 women of color in jobs, or add hashtag 100 women of color. You need to just hashtag that on LinkedIn as well, and be ready for next week focus. Yeah, I hope I've been very clear. I don't know if I have any questions in the comments. Not anyone for now. So if you have any question, you know where to find me. But this is what I'm going to wrap up with. So let this week set the tone for your next chapter. You don't need to have it all figured out, but you do need to be brave enough to get it clear, right? You need to be very clear. Clarity, clarity, clarity. I'm rooting for you, and I'll see you whether in the comment or on the community channels. Stay bold, stay brilliant, stay bright, stay encouraged, stay determined. With all of my love, see you, take care, and baby, and bye.